أشهد
أشهد
أن
أن
لا
لا
إله
إله
إلا
إلا
الله
الله
وأشهد
وأشهد
أن
أن
محمدا
محمدا
رسول
رسول
الله.
Hello, how are you friends about Muslims, back again on this channel. This time we will discuss Islam in English cities. What is the story? Watch the video until the end. An audio broadcast predicts the number of Muslims in the UK will be the same as Muslims in Kuwait, namely 4.1 million. This will be proven, because so far almost 95% of Christians in England do not go to church on Sunday. However, on the other hand, as many as 75% of young people are closer to mosques. Recently, the number of Muslims in England in 2019 reached 3 million, which is the highest in history. Some areas in London have almost 50% of the population Muslim. This figure is an analysis by the Office for National Statistics, ONS. If the trend continues, this means that the population in England could be dominated by Muslims in the next 10 years. In data released by the ONS for 2018 or 2019, as many as 3,194,791 Muslims lived in England. About 1.3 of these were less than 16 years old. If you add Muslims living in Scotland and Wales, the number becomes 3,363,210. This number is equivalent to 5.9% of the total population in England of around 55.16 million in 2018. In 2018, the number of Muslims only in the London area almost reached 1.26 million. This number is roughly equivalent to 14.2% of the total population in the region. Around 74% of the rest of the UK population adheres to a religion or other belief. Along with various conflicts, migration continues to occur starting in 2015 to England and other regions in Europe. The Muslim population could triple by 2050, as war victims, refugees, enter Britain and Europe. The ONS previously conducted a survey of 55,318,085 people in England alone. When combined with surveys conducted in Wales and Scotland, the total population surveyed reached 63,783,693 people. The Muslims' populations in Britain has been estimated to increase in 30 years. This increase is up to 3 times based on calculations by the Pew Research Center, with a calculation model that assumes median migration levels. The number of Muslims is estimated to increase to 13 million in 2050. Previously in 2016, the number of Muslims was assumed to be 4.1 million. This research follows records of the influx of asylum seekers from Syria and other Muslim countries experiencing conflict. The study also shows that the UK is the country with the lowest level of hostility towards asylum seekers from Iraq and Syria. Only 1 in 3 people in the UK view asylum seekers as enemies. This figure is clearly lower than France, which reached 39%, 42% in Spain and 60% in Poland. Countries with low numbers of refugees are usually more likely to believe they are a threat. Quoted from the Evening Standard, Ed Hussein explained his reasons for choosing England. Ed is the author of The House of Islam, a global history who has lived in the Middle East and America. England itself is not safe from interreligious conflict. Muslims face threats of racist acts at all times from other groups. But over time, the people of England and London actively sought improvements or reforms. In the City of London and other areas of England, ideas around pragmatic politics, religious diversity, and economic opportunity continue to be practiced in society. As a result, law enforcement is more important than religious rules or secret policies. Residents from various backgrounds receive the same treatment. They are obliged to obey the laws made by the government if they want to live in London or other parts of England. It is this spirit of improvement that other Muslims around the world can take from the citizens of London. They work together to create opportunities and a better climate of stabilization for the English. The building and development of mosques in England has been one of the greatest achievements of British Muslims. With more than 2,000 mosques in the UK, the number continues to grow as the needs of the growing Muslim population increase. British Muslims also have a very new development project in Birmingham which is planned to become one of the new and interesting religious landmarks in the city. With a 6-story mosque, the construction of the Islamic Center of Britain will include a commercial center, an education center as well as lots of green space as part of an environmentally friendly project initiative. To revive the forgotten traditions and functions of mosques, the Islamic Center of Britain hopes to create a holistic environment for the large Muslim population. The unique thing about the Islamic Center of Britain is that it will be home to a variety of activities outside of the traditional services usually offered by mosques. The mosque's educational center will be a thriving environment offering full-time secondary and elementary schooling to hundreds of students. Moreover, there will be Islamic programs for more than 500 students during evening madrasa classes. There will also be a nursery for children with modern nursery facilities. The mosque will also have a community center that will be developed to bring people together to meet, collaborate, and engage in various activities. With recreational activities and an open kitchen, this community center aims to revive the spirit of community in the mosque environment. As for the eco-friendly project, the new development will contribute to the ecosystem with 3 dedicated green spaces, a roof garden, a courtyard garden, a contemplation garden which has been described by the center as the crown jewel in the British Islamic Center Green Project. Contemplation gardens will adorn commercial and residential developments, which also make up a large part of the new development. The Islamic Center of Britain will feature luxury living with 12 2-bedroom apartments, with the aim of allowing residents to be in the heart of the center while also being in an Islamic and spiritual environment. Commercial units will also be developed which will help support the local economy, creating new jobs for many people and helping to maintain costs for the center. Meanwhile, the UK Office for National Statistics published a new set of figures from the 2021 census. The data shows, for the first time, that less than half of the population of England and Wales identify themselves as Christian. The number fell 13% in a decade, reaching 27.5 million people. Meanwhile, the number of those who identify as having no religion or atheists grew by 12% to 22.2 million people. Even as England became more secular, some religions flourished. The census shows that the number of Muslims has increased by 44% and now makes up 7% of the population. Meanwhile, the number of British Hindus reached 1 million for the first time in 2021.